The Reddit title reads, Fellow men of Reddit, what are some tips for a first date? First guy says, have fun. You're not there to win her over, you're there to see if you'd want to spend a whole lot of time with her. Is she fun? Is she easy to talk to? Do you feel comfortable with her? Etc. Yeah, that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, you only live once and your time is very valuable. So there's no point in going into a dating situation and not go there to have a good time. Yes, if you're new to dating, it is nerve wracking and you've got to do a lot of numbers to get over that hump of being nervous. And you're always going to feel a little bit nervous and apprehensive if it's a girl you really like. But the main feeling should be excitement about the possibilities, and the date shouldn't last that long anyway. Like, you should be in and out very quickly. You should be able to judge her very quickly if she's someone you want to spend more time with. So yeah, absolutely have fun. If she knows you're having fun, then that'll make her have fun and she'll feel much more comfortable. So yeah, I completely agree with that. You're not there to win her over. In some ways, you're winning her over. She wants a relationship. She wants that man to spend a long time with and show him off. You're just there to have a good time. And maybe if you're a high value man, you might even have a roster of women in your ranks. Next one, you should definitely shower and avoid asking Reddit for tips mid date. Yeah, I saw this like wacky statistic that about like 40% of men like don't shower. I don't know how often that means. Like, do they shower once every 2 days, once every 3 days? But yeah, hygiene's very important. You're going to put the girl off straight away if you smell bad. You should have a rotation of colognes. They're quite cheap these days, so if you're really unsure about what type of smell you want, you can go online and ask women what they like. I don't like going to women for a lot of advice, but when it comes to guys' cologne, they can always tell you what smell they like the most, and usually women are quite in line with each other when it comes to the best men's smells. But me personally, I like the musky, smoky smell. I think you can get a Tom Ford one. I think it's dark vanilla is really nice. Bit more pricey, but I like that winter warm whiskey like smell, and that seems to do quite well. But yeah, shower guys, come on, have good hygiene, not just for her but for your own sake. If you are hygienic, you're gonna feel good. But if you're a slob, you haven't like brushed your hair, you haven't had a shower, you're gonna go in with a negative mindset, and it's not gonna go too well. So yeah, that's pretty simple advice there. Don't have high expectations. Ask her questions about herself, be respectful, and have fun. Yeah, don't have high expectations. Don't go in thinking, oh, this is going to be my woman, and don't think, oh, this has to work. Like, it's the end of the world. Like, this is the only girl left, and if this doesn't go well, I'm going to be single forever. Don't go with those expectations. She's just another girl. There's pretty girls everywhere. They're a dime a dozen. Going with low expectations, but with the mindset of having fun again. Asking her questions about herself. Absolutely, women love talking about themselves, and if you are someone who's nervous or you're not the best talker, you don't have too many interesting things to say, women love talking about themselves. So just ask her questions, and you'll realise that she'll be talking 90% of the time, and you'll be the 10% just asking her questions. So yeah, they can talk forever, women. Even the most shy women, they love talking about themselves. So yeah, just ask questions and the conversation will absolutely flow. But if she doesn't ask you any questions, she doesn't show you any interest in yourself, take that as a red flag, because you don't want a woman super self-centered who doesn't care about your life or show any interest in you. I'd view that as a red flag and someone maybe you wouldn't want to date exclusively. It's about making sure she has a good time while she's with you. Even if you don't find her interesting and attractive, realise halfway through you don't want a second date, you set aside the time for her, make it the best for both of you. Let me read that first line again because it kind of threw me off. This guy says it's about making sure she has a good time while she's with you. I completely disagree with that. Like, that's not the mindset to have. The mindset is, yeah, to be yourself to a certain extent. And for me, it's more about just having fun and being yourself. I wouldn't say you have to go out there and make sure she has a good time. That shouldn't be the mindset, and she'll see straight through that. So I don't think that's great advice. You know, you should be focused on yourself, but absolutely, like, you don't want her to have a bad time, but don't go out your way to make sure she's the only one happy. Like, I see some guys, they'll do stuff on a first date they wouldn't usually do, like normally, because they're trying to mold themselves to fit her image, and they might even go on first dates which they have zero interest in hobby wise, just to please her. Like, if you're not interested in going to a bar, don't go to a bar just to please her because she wants it. Do something that you both want to do, but more importantly, what you want to do, because you're the one planning the day. You're setting out the boundaries of how the date's going to go. So make sure it's something you enjoy doing, and if she really likes you, she'll be just happy to be by your side. Sorry, I've got a bit of cough. I think it's the winter weather in the UK. Next one. You absolutely must shave your balls. The confidence derived from knowing your shiny balls are ready for action will propel you onward in your romantic journey. You want them soft and kissable. Yeah, whatever. Wherever floats your boat. I will actually say on this, I know this is a jokey thing to say, but I hate girls touching my balls. Like, it's just not for me. You know, very early on in my relationship with my girl, I said, yeah, just don't touch the ball area. Like, I'm not interested in that. Some guys are, you do you, but yeah, got a bit personal there. Let's move on. If it goes well, as in you're going to score, just give her the best blowjob and stop at the mouth stuff. Okay, yeah, they're getting a bit silly now, but I respect it. But he says, no, to be serious, just be normal. Don't think of it like a date. Imagine this as a friend that your closest home introduced you to. Don't get in your own head or up your own arse. Yeah, definitely, like, just be normal and relaxed like you are with a friend, but don't treat her like a friend. Like, you do want to progress something physically in the first date. I'm not saying you have to secure sex on the first date, but you should definitely try and be touchy in a respectful way. You got to build the anticipation. You got to show your intentions that you're not here just to be her gay best friend. You want something from this, and you want to show you're in control, and you have experience, and you're confident, and being showing some sexuality in your first date is really important. Don't look at your phone, make eye contact, open doors to them, say please, thank you, and have manners, be respectful to everyone, don't look at your phone. So he said, don't look at your phone twice, obviously. He says that's obviously very important. Yeah, I agree. You can go on your phone if she's, going to the toilet or something. But yeah, if, from her point of view, if you see her go on her phone, that's a complete no go. Now I get it, she might want to just message a friend to tell her like she got there safely, or if a really important family thing came up, hopefully she say to you, sorry, I have to take this because a family member's inside some type of trouble. But other than that, a woman shouldn't be on her phone on a date, and neither should you really. You both took time out of your busy schedule. You should be giving her your full attention, just like she should be giving you her full attention. Make eye contact, absolutely. It shows a lot of confidence. Women love eye contact. They'll get all blushy and all soft when you stare deep into their soul. So absolutely have manners, and yeah, especially have manners towards the waiters. Like, if you're going to a place that has waiters or staff members, be polite to them, because women pay attention to that, and also see how she's acting with waiters and staff members. If she's being rude to staff members, that's a complete no-go for me, because I've worked in many supermarkets, I've done bar work, I've done everything, and yeah, I'd want to show that respect to people who've also been in my position, and at the end of the day, they're just there just to try and make some money. So yeah, treat them with respect for sure, because if they're treating them badly, she's going to treat you badly in the long run as well. Maintain eye contact, don't look below her neck ever. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and you can kind of make a jokey thing out of it, especially if you both very early on are comfortable with each other and you've been building up that sexual tension. I'm sure a little look to the lower part of her body is fine, but yeah, maybe not in the first 10 minutes. Ask questions about them and listen closely. Yeah, you got to listen to the answers so then you can ask follow up questions to that. It shows that you're interested in what she has to say, and it shows you've been listening. Because women will test you, and they'll test you throughout your relationship as well. They'll test you to see if you've been listening. But you're a guy. Sometimes you are going to daydream about space and football, and yeah, I think women just understand that by now. Do one or two more from the guy's point of view, then we're going to actually check out the women's subreddit to see what they look for when it comes to dating. Focus on learning more about her and her interests. Yeah, whatever. Next one, don't be a total cheat, but don't take it as somewhere that's going to break the bank. Absolutely. So you can absolutely be cheap, like go for a dog walk or a coffee date. I know that doesn't really build up the sexual tension, but if you're a busy guy and that's all you can do, and if you just want to get some exercise in, you can go for a walk. And if you go for walks anyway, bring a girl into that situation, so you're killing two birds with one stone, so to speak. But yeah, do not go for anything expensive. Definitely don't do food dates, even if the food date is cheap. Like, you don't want to be having a 3-course meal, and when the starters come round, you've already decided you're not into her. And yeah, just eating in front of each other is not very romantic. It's not a big turn on, is it? Seeing her stuff down some chicken wings down her gullet. So I definitely wouldn't do that. But yeah, for me, just go on a drink date. Most women do drink. I'm not saying go crazy, but just have 2 drinks max. It kind of mellows you a bit. It kind of lets her loosen up a bit. And yeah, you can also progress something sexually more quicker if there's a few drinks involved. But obviously don't let her get paralytic, and you should be paralytic. It should be like 2 drinks max, and then you should call it off. Either go somewhere else or just call a date there. Prepare some questions just in case. Yeah, I actually did this, especially in my early days. I'd have like a list of questions, and I didn't bring the list of questions with me, but I had to read through the questions before I, met her, and that was just in my head. So if I did struggle with conversation, I could refer back to those questions. You don't want to be super structured and robotic, but I think it is okay to have some questions in mind before going into the date, especially if you've been looking at her dating profile and you've seen some of her prompts and you want to bring it up. I think that's absolutely fine. But I think when you get used to dating, you become more confident, then you won't use those questions. But especially in the first part, yeah, go for it. I don't see anything wrong with that. Just don't bring the notes to the date, because that would be a terrible look. 2 more points here. Look your best, appropriate. Can't say that word. Appropriate to the location. Yeah, look your best, sure. Get a workout in a couple of hours beforehand. Yeah, I don't see why not. I go to the gym in the morning, so I don't think I'd ever have a workout straight before a date just because of the timing of it. But yeah, no, have a workout, make yourself feel good. Maybe as soon as you see her, you still have the gym pump, so you look a bit bigger. Sometimes you can even, work out in another department, which I'm sure you know where I'm coming from there, because sometimes you'll have that certain workout into a tissue, and then you'll look at her profile picture and be like, am I really into her? Was I just horny in the moment? Doesn't happen a lot, but yeah, sometimes it's the post-nut clarity, isn't it? But no, seriously, yeah, workout's good. And anyways, you shouldn't really be masturbating anyway, because it's toxic for the brain and you'll feel much better if you didn't. So forget that advice I just mentioned there. Let's go to the AskWomen subreddit. So this title's slightly different. It's not related just to first dates. This is just general pro tips for dating. I couldn't find one specific to first dates, but I'm sure if I do some more searching, I'll be able to find a better comparison. So this is AskWomen. This is women asking women. First woman says, communicate your needs up front and don't compromise being friends with benefits if you want a relationship. Don't waste time. There's only so much of it. Yeah, I agree about the timing thing. I said this earlier, think time is your most valuable resource. You only live once. Yeah, you want to be spending time with someone who's just as interested in you as you are interested in them. So that is very important. She says communicate your needs up front and don't compromise being friends with benefits. I think this woman's probably had an experience where she's been dating guys and she just got used for sex. I think this is quite common in dating for women, and I think after some time they learn their lesson, but by that point they've probably had sex with too many promiscuous men, and by that point they're damaged forever. So hopefully women take this advice from this lady sooner rather than later. But yeah, that can really mess women up. But some women are just very sexually promiscuous and it doesn't affect them. But some women I spoke to who went through a promiscuous past, they said to me they regretted it, and yeah, they just have bad feelings towards it. But obviously their actions show different, so who knows what to believe. Don't ignore red flags. Your gut is usually right. If there's a reason you feel that way, yeah, red flags is a difficult one on the first date because you can over empathize it, emphasize it. Sorry, two different words there. But yeah, there are absolutely some standout red flags that are just no goes, and you need to look out for those absolutely. And trust your gut, yeah, to an extent. I think your initial opinion of someone is usually right in the long term, but just because I don't know the guy likes the color blue, but you don't like the color blue, like don't cut him off for that. Don't be so specific to your checklist. But yeah, it's certainly something to be aware of. Someone says whether it ends up being one day or a LTR, however, always try to enjoy someone's company and unique perspective. You can always learn something from someone else. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Like, even if the date doesn't go well, try and get something from that day that you can take on to future life. Like, yeah, absolutely everybody can help you learn something, no matter what level they are, no matter what age they are, or gender, or ethnicity. You can learn a lot from someone. So absolutely, I don't regret any of my dates. Like, yeah, not obviously not all of them led to success, but I appreciate, you know, how it's built me into the man I am today. So I don't really have any regrets when it comes to dates, even ones that didn't go particularly well. Oh, this person has a long list. This is actually the original poster, so she's put her 2 cents into this. Until explicitly confirmed, I'm really struggling with my words today. Assume non-monogamy, non-exclusivity. Yeah, well, it's funny that a woman's saying this because women are, yeah, they're pretty guilty of this. So look, guys, we're in a modern dating marketplace where people are using the apps. When you're dating someone in the early stages, just know that she will be dating other men at the same time, and she'll be on the apps. She'll be meeting up with guys the day after you just met up and you spent money on her. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. It's very rare to find a woman who's only dating one guy at a time. Does it make these women bad people? Absolutely not. But you just need to understand how the game's played at the moment. So yeah, completely agree with that. But she's saying it in from a female point of view. I can assure you, it happens a lot with women in the dating marketplace. There are expectations, but generally, at least where I live, Tinder equals hookup, Bumble equals hookup, Hinge equals hookup. Yeah, these dating apps are hookup apps, unfortunately. Now, women do go in with the intention of a long-term relationship, but get into that long-term relationship, she will sleep with multiple men in the lead up to that long-term relationship. So their main goal might be a long-term relationship, but their actions leading up to that doesn't give long-term material. Again, doesn't make them bad people. Men sleep around too. It's just to go into these apps making out they're here for a relationship. The actions just show something different. Next point, communicate, but even then, brace for disappointment. Just because you make it clear how you expect to be treated doesn't mean you'll be treated that way. I think this woman's just been very hurt. She's had some bad experiences with Chads. I feel for her. I want people to treat each other with respect. I don't want these women to be hurt by guys, just like I don't want guys to be hurt by women. But she's got a big brush here, and she's painting all men with the same red flags, which that's not really fair. Don't be shy to ask about STD histories or request proof for STD results. Um, yeah, I agree. Before you get intimate with each other, and it's probably a massive mood killer. I've never done it before. I've just always taken the risk. Now going forward, thankfully I'm in a committed relationship, so I don't have to worry about this. But if I do go back in the dating marketplace, I would only have sex with a woman with protection. Before, I hadn't been very prepared. I would go, you know, without the raincoat, which is a terrible idea. But yeah, a lot of women do have STDs. Does it make them bad people? No. But if you think about it, these women are sleeping around a lot. And especially if it's a Chad, she's going to decide, you know what? Don't worry about the condom. I find you really attractive. Just sleep with me. And these Chads are giving these women STDs, and then she passes it on to the next nice guy. It doesn't make women bad, but it does make them, well, it just shows that they are quite irresponsible, and they probably don't get checked for STDs as much. I think especially with women, it's more hard to identify if they have an STD. Like, they don't have the repercussions that men have. You know, men get an itchy dick, or they get certain spots. Yeah, I won't paint the picture because it's not very nice to think about, but absolutely, yeah, people need to be open about their STDs, and they need to be respectful to their dating partner and get tested frequently. The OP just keeps talking there. Let's skip that because we're running out of time here. Someone says trust your gut, share your location with a close friend on the first date, hang out. Sure. First hangout should be super casual, like coffee or ice cream. Yeah, I agree with her completely. Do what you and only you are comfortable with. Okay, that's a bit selfish. Like I said, the men are planning the date, so I think they have more of the more of the management of how the date goes. But you should still take in consideration what she'd like to do. I wouldn't take a girl to a football match, so to speak. Like, you got to be aware of what the woman would like to do, but overall it should be the man's guidance because he's asking to go out for the date. But her just saying it's all about the girl, I just don't like that. That shows she's quite self-centered. Someone said have fun, be yourself. We'll go in a few more because I don't think this is like good dating advice. It's not really telling women how to have a good date with a guy. It's more saying what a girl's standards should be, and that's kind of going away from what this video was supposed to be about. But at the end, I'll give these women some tips maybe of what they should do when it comes to dating, because these aren't really pro tips. It sounds like it's just more just about women stating their standards and their boundaries, which isn't tips in my opinion. We'll go through maybe three more. Someone says dating advice can be confusing. Some say it'll work when you aren't trying, while others will tell you to keep up the numbers game. It's emotional madness. Yeah, I think it is a numbers game, but it's more a numbers game for guys because guys don't get as many dates as women, so it's important for guys to date as many women as possible because it doesn't come round as much. But for women, they get so many options. I think they can be more selective about who they go out on dates with, while men, they just take what they can get, don't they, at the start. Yeah, let's just finish this person's comment. As a kid, I was given advice on how to improve my drawing skills. Oh, that's just a really long post. I'm going to skip that one. Someone says avoid everyone. She's been hurt quite a bit. That's sad. Like, you shouldn't avoid everyone. Someone I told a friend was once alarm bells and tend to only get louder. Oh, okay. Yeah, so if you do hear alarm bells on the first date, yeah, maybe they do get louder as you go on. Maybe you should trust your instincts at the start. But at the same time, like, don't just cut off someone or a date just because you saw one small red flag. Like, give that person a chance. nobody's perfect, and they might have a ton of green flags but one or two red flags, and the green flags outdo the red flags. So cut some guys some slack, and the same for guys to girls as well. Let's do one more. When a guy says anything along the lines of he's not looking already for a relationship or commitment, believe him. Yeah, but women will try to change that guy's point of view and have sex with him more. And she thinks, oh, if I have sex with him more, he'll then want to be in a relationship with me. No, he set out the boundaries very early on that he just wants to sleep around, and you can't change that guy. He's not ready to settle down yet. So, yeah, that's good advice from that woman. Just trust what people say at the start, because that's when they're going to be most truthful at the start, because they don't have as much to lose when they've just met you. But yeah, unfortunately, those women didn't give other women a lot of dating tips. I was hoping they would say stuff that would help a woman get a second, third, fourth date with a guy. So just off the top of my head, if a girl wants a second date with a guy, she wants the first date to go well, what are some tips I would give her? I would say show an interest in the guy, ask him questions, look pretty and feminine, but don't look too sexual. Like, you don't want to look like a prostitute, but you also don't want to look super conservative. Show a bit of sexiness, but also dress quite smart and feminine. Offer to pay for a drink. Like, yes, the guy's going to go in and probably pay for everything, but just say, oh no, I'll get this one, and just show that input to try and pay for something, even if internally you think, oh, I'm not going to pay for this. At least show you're having some input on trying to treat him, and that goes a long way. Ask him about his life, like show an interest in his life. Yes, you're going to be doing a lot of the talking. The guy's going to be asking a lot of questions, but show an interest in in his life. That'd be really appreciated. Do not bring up past boyfriends or past lovers or guys you're talking to now. Don't talk about these guy colleagues. Don't try and make him jealous. Don't try and make out that you're sleeping around a lot. Just keep that stuff to yourself, because that's going to absolutely destroy his opinion of you and the attraction. So don't bring up past boyfriends. Just say, hey, yeah, I had this past boyfriend, I wish him all the best, but I've moved on. That's as far as it should go in regards to talking about previous ex-lovers. So cut that out completely. What else to do? Maybe you could even throw in some compliments. Like, literally, it's very difficult for men to receive compliments. Other than being in a relationship, very rarely a guy is going to receive a compliment from anyone, let alone girls. So yeah, just throw him a little compliment here and there. That will go a long way. And it might be the first time he's been complimented in years. So yeah, just throw in a nice compliment in there is very much appreciated. Similar to what one of the guys said about the guy should be kind to waiters and staff. Yeah, make sure you're kind to everyone around you. Don't get too drunk. Don't be too loud and obnoxious. Show that quiet feminine side is very important. Don't try and belittle him. Don't ask too much about how much money he earns or what job he has. Like, don't make it feel like a job interview. Like, just respect him for the person he is, and stop trying to compete with him or try and make him feel less than he is, because he wants someone who's going to love him for who he is. And he doesn't want to feel like he's in a job interview, and I'm sure you'd feel the same. And we saw the word a lot, fun. Make sure you have fun as well. Show you're excited to be there, and show that fun side. Like, dating should be fun. Don't sit there looking like you'd rather be somewhere else, or you're annoyed that he invited you out because you had other plans. Like, show that fun side and show that youthful side, because dating should be fun, and he's going to be really turned off by you if the first time he's ever met you, you're being all bitchy and moody and tired. So yeah, certainly have that fun side. That's the ones I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, just be feminine, fun, kind, show a bit of sexiness, and yeah, just treat them with respect, because you, at the end of the day, you're two people coming together to try and hopefully find love, just enjoy each other's company. So you really want to show that part of you, and yeah, I think you'll be fine. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.